Hey everyone, Jag Taggart 93 here. Today I'm going to be remembering a little game called Wyvern. Um, Wyvern was a collectible card game released in 1994, I believe, heavily inspired by Magic the Gathering. Now, a few weeks ago, I saw a video by Rudy at Alpha Investments, link in the description below, where he was talking about Wyvern, and it brought back a lot of memories, actually. Wyvern was a game I collected for, didn't know anyone who played, but I love the flavor of it, and I love the setting as well, and the art was just so moody. The art was amazing. Now, at the time, most people played Magic, and I played Magic too at the time, and Magic at the time was very different than Magic what we know today. Back in the day when I bought a Magic product, I would see something like this on the shelves, the old anthology box. I think I got this one from a Toys R Us way back when. Now, if you go to a retailer and get a box of Magic cards, they come in something like this. And the art style is like this. Very different flavor. I mean, Dominaria is the current set, and I was really hoping it would be a total nostalgia wave for players like me, and I'm not really sure what I was expecting. A lot of the cards that came out in the Dominaria set are beautiful to look at. Absolutely amazing, and they have a lot of callbacks to previous sets. So one of my favorites is, of course, Time of Ice, which references in the art the lore of the Ice Age saga from, well, Magic the Gathering. And, of course, there's other cards, too, with great art, like Dub as well. Great classic medieval fantasy art. Looks like a painting. The artist did a great job with it. And those cards are great, but they don't look like what I associate Magic to look like. I know it's been many years, right? But when I think Magic, I think of cards that, that would come in one of these box sets here, like in 5th edition. I think of cards that, that would come out of a Fallen Empire's booster pack. Actually, I'll crack this open now, and you can probably see what I mean. Alright. So Fallen Empires, by the way, the point of this video is to crack these Wyvern packs. But real quick, Fallen Empires, we have a Goblin Flotilla. Very underpowered card, but I really dig the art there. If my camera would focus, that would be lovely. There it goes. Got another awesome card here, actually. Wyvern Praetor. See that? Love the art. Love the... Looks like a holy ceremony between a demon and this rabbit-like fey creature, actually. Really cool art. Actually, I'll just hold it like that. This is the art I'm thinking of when I think of Magic the Gathering, stuff like this. Oh, cool, Hymn to Tarach. Nice. This is one of my favorite cards, by the way, for art. Margaret Organ Keene did this one, Spore Flower. See that? Beautiful art on that card. Great art. And art like this really helps it feel like you're actually a mage casting spells. Which is so important to the game of Magic. And here we got a High Tide, which is another pretty solid common out of Fallen Empire. So I guess that was a pretty good booster. But my point is, you look at a card like, Wyvern Praetor, and then you look at one of the newer cards, and they just, it looks like they're from different games completely, So I've been buying the Dominaria packs, trying to get my nostalgia fix, and not quite getting it. Through it all fall on Wizards, I'm sure, really, because, what can they do? Go back to the old art frames? I mean, I understand why they went to the new ones. They're much easier to read. I mean, you look at the text for Wyvern Praetor, and it's like a wall of text, but still, I miss my old Magic. I miss my old aesthetic. So what was the guy to do? Well, I saw Rudy's video, and I thought, hey, Wyvern, it's dirt cheap. The game is pretty fun to play if I ever find anyone to play with, and even if I don't, the main reason why I buy Magic cards these days is really for the flavor, really, the story and the art. That's really it. I haven't done a Friday Night Magic in probably since Ravnica block. I meant to return to Friday Night Magic and drafting with Dominaria, but again, just the feel of the set isn't quite there, and it's a very subjective thing. I understand. A lot of people watching this video right now are probably like, "What are you talking about with the feel?" They're using classic characters, they're using classic locations. There's plenty of callbacks. What more do you want? I don't know. I just kind of want cards that look like this again, right? Not ones that have, this kind of style to it. I miss the old aesthetic of Magic, essentially, and I kind of get my nostalgia fix of playing Wyvern, because when you look at a Wyvern card, there's mood there, there's ambience, there's a feel to it, a very specific feel, a very moody feel, and you'll see what I mean once I crack open some of these packs here. Alright, so Wyvern came in booster packs and actual decks like this as well too. Just like in Magic, when you bought a deck, you got cards, and you also got a rulebook, which I'll show you. See that right there is a Wyvern rulebook, and it's pretty small actually compared to a Magic the Gathering rulebook from the time. I'll pull one out of Ice Age here. There's one for Ice Age, there's one for Wyvern. The Ice Age rulebook is, how many pages is this thing? 71 pages, if my camera would focus. Come on. Yeah. Well, even if it appears blurry, it is 71 pages. The Wyvern rulebook is only 23 pages. Now, what's really cool about the Wyvern rules is that they're pretty simple, actually. You're basically a emperor, and you have land, you have dragons, you have basically an army of dragons that you employ to fight for you against your opponent's army of dragons. And when I say employ, I mean that very literally, because your resource is gold, and you start with 25 gold to play dragons and use their abilities. So right off the bat, you're given your resource. You don't ever have to worry about being mana flooded or mana screwed or land screwed, however you describe it, like you would in Magic the Gathering. So your resources are always there. The games tend to go a lot quicker, and you can set up you set up your playing area ahead of time. Those blocks in the middle there are where you'd place your face down terrain and dragon cards, your Wyvern cards, and they'd be face down. And there's a little bit of luck, because when you attack a face down card on your opponent's side, it could be something stronger than your own. Of course, you can play action cards and other things to keep your dragons up and give them strength. So overall, it's a pretty fun game. What I found really interesting, though, too, was just like in Magic, this game has ante in it, if both players agree. See in that first paragraph there. If both players agree, you can take the top card of your treasure hoard, draw a pile, or Dragon Lair, draw a pile. Yeah, there's two draw piles. One contains your dragons and terrain cards. The other pile contains your treasure cards and your action cards. Anyway, the winner of the game gets the chosen cards. So I thought it was very cool that Wyvern took that from Magic as well. Granted, I never played for ante, even back in the day. I kept I kept some cards around just in case I ever met anyone that did, but yeah. Back then, we didn't really think Magic was going to be worth anything, nor did we think Wyvern was going to be worth anything. Wyvern still isn't worth anything. That's why it's so easy to buy cards now for Wyvern. I got these for about 3 for $5 off eBay right now. They're pretty cheap, but again, I love opening them and getting my nostalgia fix. By the way, one thing that Wizards used to do with the booster packs, I'm not sure how well you're going to be able to see this because it's black on red, but on the booster packs, they would put the flavor to the set on the pack. For example, here on the Fallen Empire's booster pack, it says, in the southern oceans of Dominaria Prime lay a continent of great kingdoms. Far from the war between Urza and Mishra, the lands of Sarpedia prospered. But as the climate changed, resources dwindled, and empires crumbled. Hideous new species arose in the forests and seas, forcing the Sarpedians to fight for their very survival. Recruit these toughened warriors and vicious predators for your own duels. But beware, lest you fare no better than the fallen empires. Oh, it sets the mood. It's perfect. It's great. And it's a little tidbit for those of us who thought to look at every single inch of the booster before we cracked it open. So definitely gave you the sense that you're taking part of an ongoing story. Anyway, so for Wyvern, they did the same thing on these booster packs. Get a sense for the game and what's going on here. Wyvern, the game of dragons, dragon slayers, and treasure, is a fast-paced collectible trading card game. Each dragon in Wyvern's universe is based upon an actual mythological dragon. Love it. Rendered in captivating and entrancing artwork. It is, as you'll see. Cards are common, uncommon, and rare. As you dominate your vast empire, you will want to collect all the cards to strengthen your army of dragons, enhance your battlefield position, and increase your treasure hoard. Artwork is already developed for future editions. See? Now, one thing I find very interesting is that the playfield is called the battlefield in Wyvern, and that would be a term that Magic would later on use years later. So I find that very, very interesting. So yeah, that is the flavor text to Wyvern. So let's go ahead and crack one of these boosters and see what we get. Yeah, man. There we go. Okay, starting with a trap. Now I want you to pay attention to how the skies look in all these cards. The skies tend to be very dark. I don't really see a lot of sunlight in these cards, which I think adds to the mood of the game, actually, and I really like that. I like that a lot. It contrasts very sharply with new Magic artwork where everything is very bright and colorful and vivid. We got a Python, a Leviathan, ooh, a castle, and damn, is that a badass looking castle. Look at that. Golden Apple, very simple artwork. I dig it. I love the simple aesthetic to that one. Desert, now that's a desert. And come to think of it, that's probably the first card I've seen in Wyvern that actually has a bright sky overhead. Possession Spell. Maiden in Distress, classic Wyvern card. Love the art in that too. Again, it's not like a photorealistic card by any means, you know, in terms of art. However, the mood and everything about it gives you this ethereal feeling of distress when you watch it, of sadness, of depression. Awesome. Zeus. Meteor Shower. Love the art on this one too. City, actually. This is kind of how I would imagine the village of Ison from Ogratha and Homeland's looking like. Very much a city captivated in darkness. Help. By the way, the card name's over here, not here, like in Magic. Alright. Gold Thief. Yep, there you go. And Marina. Some great cards there. Let's open our second pack. Again, one thing I love about Wyvern is that, as it says, a lot of the cards are based on actual mythology. We saw that in Magic the Gathering years and years ago with the Legends set. Good luck getting any of those now, but I thought that was really cool. And we saw that again, too, earlier before with Arabian Nights. I would love Magic to do that again with a set that's based on actual mythology from Earth, but yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm opening it over here instead of showing you guys. Okay. By the way, this is what the card backs look like. We'll be on the lookout for any Fallen Empires cards mixed in these, because supposedly there was a printing error with the company Cardamundi, actually, if you can see that. Cardamundi was the people who printed these cards, and they mixed up Fallen Empires with Wyvern, and yeah. Ooh, now that's a beautiful looking card. Mansion in the Sky. Look at that. Nice. Okay. That's awesome. Quicksand. Fireball. Very different than Magic's Fireball. Magic Sword. Now that looks amazing. Twister. Again, we have a Magic the Gathering Twister as well. Hailstorm. Nice. That card just looks cold. Got another gold find. Raw. Would have loved to see a Raw card over in Amonkhet, but no. Gold Shortage. Seaweed. Magic Wand. Battle Chaos. And Avalanche. Okay, awesome. Last pack. Alright, looks like we're starting with our uncommons and rares on the top here. That's Chen Lung, an Eastern style dragon. Strength 3, which is actually pretty high. By the way, with these cards, there is flavor text as well. So, granted, the flavor text for a lot of them is very simple. For example, the flavor text here just simply says Chen Lung is a Chinese guardian dragon. Okay, thank you. I would like to know a little more about the mythology of him, but whatever. Okay, not even going to try and pronounce that, but there's another cool looking Aztec type dragon. That's an awesome card. Frost Breathing. Dwarven Army. And again, most of the sky is appearing very gray, very moody, gives it a very almost haunting kind of feel to the game, which I really dig. By the way, there are some cards that are Dragon Slayer cards that can kill dragons, given there's certain circumstances are met. I mean, just like in Magic the Gathering, each card has rules text, and you do what the rules text says, even if it goes against a rule in the game. Knowledge. Beowulf, badass card. Of course, he's a Dragon Slayer. Another magical sword. Sigurd. Like the art on that one too. Armor. And this one's definitely a common because I have so many of them, but love the art there actually. Really cool. Another city. Again, I love the art on city as well. Yeah. Alright, so those were my 3 packs of Wyvern. Again, I love opening them. I love cracking them. I love looking at the classic art on them. I can look at them for days and days and days, and you know, that's really why I play Magic these days. I play mostly just to relive my childhood a little bit. I miss old school Magic, and I try to play current Magic to try and get that feel again. And sometimes it's there, sometimes it isn't. Depends on the set. But you know, I'm totally okay with buying some Wyvern until Magic eventually does something, I don't know what, to return to its roots. I don't think it ever will. It's being played by people, you know, in schoolyards all over the place these days, so yeah, whatever. Well, that's it. I guess I better start sorting these. I do have binders of these as well, and, you know, hopefully, if enough people get pushed out of current Magic for whatever reason, they don't like the current flavor, or the card quality isn't quite there. By the way, these cards are very, very old, and just look how straight they are. And they just feel very sturdy as well. Incredibly sturdy. But anyway, I'm hoping that maybe Wyvern can come back to form, and we can see, you know, maybe an actual lore to the game itself. I do really like the mythology-inspired dragons of Wyvern. I thought that's a really cool idea. I would like that to remain kind of the core of the game if this game was to continue, and then add on with expansions meant for an actual world of Wyvern. But in any event, that is it. Thank you all for watching. This is Jag Taggart 93 signing out. Have a good one.